Okay, people. So, Clerks III. I've been waiting to check this out for a minute, right? I thought I was getting to the press screenings, but they just didn't didn't happen, unfortunately. But it has now hit Prime, so I gave it a look. Right, it's written and directed by Kevin Smith. It's produced by Liz Destro, Jordan Monsantano. Um, it is executive produced by Jeff Anderson, David Gendron, Matthew Helderman, Amy Jarvella, uh, Ali Jazayiri, Daniel McGilvery, Brian O'Halloran, and Luke Taylor, with Jennifer Swalback Smith as an associate producer. Also Chelsea Cole as an associate producer. Okay, so James L. Venable handles the music. Liran Kayanov, cinematography. Smith edits the piece himself. Production design is Robert Holtzman and Nate Jones. Art direction is Luke Green. Alison Pierce is on costume design. Hair and makeup, we've got Elite Rothstein, Kim Shriver, Fiona Mifsud, Angie Johnson, Sasha Grossman, Valerie Carney, and Hallie Cole. Amy Jarvella, production management, and our cast. Well, I mean, you can guess who's going to be up in it, right? Because we've got the usuals, right? So Dante, Brian O'Halloran, Jeff Anderson is Randal. We have got Jason Mewes, Silent Bob, Kevin Smith, Elias, played by Trevor Fehrman. His mum, played by Gail Stanley. His dad, Brian Stanley. You got Blockchain Coltrane, played by Austin Zygar. There is Dr. Ladenheim, played by Amy Sedaris. Justin Long is a nurse in the hospital, right? Got our Becky back, Rosario Dawson. Who else is in here? Marilyn Gigalotti is Veronica. Emma is played by Jennifer Schwalbach Smith. Right, so Dante's ex. We have got Kate Mikakuki is a Moobies employee. Derek Berry is the Moobies manager, and Nate Gonzalez is another Moobies employee. Right. Lisa Presley, nurse in the hospital. Yeah, you know, Quinn's daughter, Harley Quinn, is there reprising her role from Jay and Silent Bob reboot, right? So Millie, Millennium Falcon. Hey, There's a lot of cameos, which was kind of fun, right? There's a lot of people that you'll recognize from, previous viewer skew films, right? They will show up. So I'm not gonna get into them. It's just a little happy, right? If you're gonna go watch it, it'll be a little treat for you. Okay, so the gist of the flick: Dante, Elias, Jay, Silent Bob are enlisted by Randal after a heart attack to make a movie about the convenience store that started it all. So that's the gist. And I think, right, because here's the thing: I remember going to a special screening of Clerks, and Smith talked about the possibilities of more films, and at the time it was a bit like, I'm not sure. And then after the heart attack, I remember listening to a few interviews he did. I think he did one on Rogan. I think he did one on Bert Kreischer's podcast as well. And he basically talked about how that had affected him and given him an idea for Clerks III. So then Clerks III happens, right? Happens. And you can definitely see, right, that this is really influenced by that. I mean, as mentioned, right, Randal has a heart attack at the start of the frigging film. But it's also a bit like Highlander 3, because there's so much here that is kind of a retelling of Clerks in a way, right? So obviously they come at it, through a different viewpoint with the let's make a movie kind of thing. But that does all feel very hapdash, right? All thrown together mad quick. And because it's just like, look, the aspects of making a film. I think if they had just been like, okay, let's use our phone and make film, and it'd be like straight gonzo. But you like when you've heard Smith talk about his experience of making Clerks, right? This is what that felt like. So it's just like, okay, so you could have raised the money and blah 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 and do all of these things, where it just didn't really feel like it could happen, right? Or it just felt a bit implausible, which was, I don't know, it's a bit of a shame. It's just because when you've got Elias's friend, right, Blockchain Coltrane, who basically is a kind of a Silent Bob clone, that felt a bit unnecessary. And the name Blockchain, it's just a bit like, why? What are we doing? So that was a bit, right. There were nice little, like the auditions were kind of fun. Auditions were pretty fun. And there were some sweet moments with Becky, right? Becky and Dante. That, like, Rosario Dawson really, I feel she was the star of this one. She really shone through. They were very nice moments. Like, part of that story happens off camera, which is, it's kind of frustrating, right? Because there was all of this stuff that supposedly had been going on, and you're just like, huh? But we don't, it's just off camera. And like, I don't know, it felt very performed. I think where the other films kind of had this natural ease about them, this one did feel like very, I don't know, like formulated, maybe, right? It got more of a play than a film. And interesting enough, there was a point where Smith was thinking of making it a play, right? So it did kind of feel like that, which was a bit like, I don't know, man. I don't know, right? It just didn't feel like the film that was maybe necessary, you know? Like I get, well, you say you get what was because only Smith knows, right? But I kind of get the feel that it was like putting the capstone on things, kind of going, yes, that's the bookend to this. And it's like the reflection on his life to this point, right? How the heart attack affected him and made him see things differently, see this new existence, right? So you kind of have that feeling that that was what this was. And it's like, look, there's a whole bunch of people that loved Jay and Silent Bob to reboot, right? So I think if you love that film, this will work easily for you. I don't think it had the magic of Clerks 2 or Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back or even Clerks 1, right? Which just was that unique kind of gonzo film, which was just like, yo, what is this? You know? So it doesn't recapture the magic of those films, but there, as I said, look, there are moments that just felt nice and worked, you know, they were those. And yeah, if reboot is your jam, then Clerks 3 will definitely speak to you. So yeah, it's out now all over the shop. So yeah, if you are a view askew person, you'll probably just want to give it a go, you know what I mean? So yeah, Clerks 3 is out, people. It's out in the world. No donkey show, though. I can tell you that. Not a spoiler. No donkey show.